Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Everton News Daily. The ESSG, the Everton Supporters Stakeholder Group, will meet with Everton Chief Executive Officer Denise Barrett-Baxendale and other members of staff to discuss the proposals that would see a Evertonian or an Everton fan have a place on the board as a director. This has come on the back of Tracy Crouch's report. It's been going on since June. It come about really because of the wake of the Super League and people trying to get move teams into that ridiculous competition. Fans had a backlash, obviously, and stopped it. And then it was thought that, fans' voices needed to be heard at clubs. So Tracy Crouch got involved in putting together proposals for that and the best practices. The Everton Stakeholders Supporters Group got together and formed back in June, and as a result of that, Everton will now sit down with the ESSG to talk about that. What they're asking for, basically, the fan director on the board, the three real things they're asking for is to become a full member of the board. They will attend board meetings with no restrictions and with equal voting rights as the other board members. They'll be directly accountable to and elected by Everton supporters, and they'd be suitably qualified and possess experience and competencies necessary to effectively operate at board level. And what it would do, it really, and it's the big thing, isn't it, is give a voice for us on board decisions. Right now, there's nothing there. Board members can do what they want. A lot of it is done secretly. We have no idea what is being discussed at that level. And this means that having a fan director would give the opportunity for the fans' voice to be put to the board members. It also, I guess, stuff that they're talking about would be able to gauge the reaction of the supporters, what they think about certain proposals that the board are putting forward. There has also been talk of a shadow board. Anyone who watched the Business with John Blaine video that we did on Patreon would know what this consisted of. I think that's a good idea as well. So you'd have obviously a shadow CEO, you'd have a shadow finance director, and so on and so on. Whether or not there's a new director of football, you'd have a shadow one of them, and they would operate based on decisions being made on this side. They would be discussing them on the other side, and I think that makes it a stronger situation. But it'll be interesting to see whether this actually comes about. A lot of people view this as it just being lip service by the football club, but there's the real momentum gathering for this now. And I think if a fan does end up becoming a director on the board, I think that's a big step forward for the football club. And hopefully then, proposals can be put forward based on what the fan base wants. And we could, maybe see the football club being closer to the supporters, because at the moment it seems like we are miles away. There's a big division right between us. The other thing regarding this is they want this to be in place by the beginning of next season. So, this is where all the negotiations begin. And we'll see whether Everton take it on board or whether Everton pass it off. Everton have issued an injury update today, just what we need, isn't it? With the news that 3 more players are injured. Richarlison, who came off in the 57th minute on Sunday in the defeat at Crystal Palace, he has suffered a small tear in his calf, and it looks like it's going to sideline him for a number of weeks, which is absolutely depressing. Andros Townsend has suffered a small fracture in his foot. An X-ray revealed that he is seeing a specialist later this week to determine the best course of action for him. And Seamus Coleman suffered a bone bruising and soft tissue damage after Benteke's high and late challenge, which really should have seen him sent off, but obviously VAR wasn't working. So obviously those 3 are out for certainly Thursday for Coleman. The other 2 will be out for a while. Coleman will continue to be assessed. He may return against Leicester City on Sunday, but I imagine he's definitely ruled out of Thursday's game with Chelsea. So really, we're getting battered from pillar to post by injuries at the moment, and what more can we do? We've just got to hang on in there and see what we can do. Everton today been linked with a move for Dynamo Kiev left-back Vitaly Mykolenko. The 22-year-old Ukrainian defender has been capped 21 times by his country. He's played 88 games for Kiev and scored 5 goals. Got a good turn of pace about him, strong in the tackle, nice left foot. It obviously puts a huge question mark over Luca Dean's future at Everton. Dean has quite publicly had a falling out with Rafa Benitez. He's been left out of Everton's last 2 games. This would suggest there's no way back for him, really. Maybe the player's decided himself that he wants to move on. I'm quite sure there'll be a few suitors for Luca Dean, you know, French left back, lovely left foot. So if this move does come off, then I think you would expect Luca Dean to go out the door to make way for Michaelenko. So keep your eye on that one. And finally, Blackpool are keen to take Ellis Sims back on loan in January. Sims spent the second half of last season on loan at Bloomfield Road. He scored 10 goals in 24 games for the Seasiders. They won him back in January. And I guess if he's not playing games for Everton, then put him back on loan, because obviously they're playing in the Championship now, so he's gone up a level, and see whether he can continue his development. Neil Critchley, the Blackpool manager, really likes Sims. They worked well together last season, so could be a good opportunity to develop Sims further and give Everton a better idea of what his ability levels are. Sims, of course, did sign a new 3-year contract with Everton just a few weeks ago. That is it for the Everton News Daily. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and if you want to join us on Patreon, we have daily live videos and lots of exclusives, then check the link in the description. See you later.